All right, what's going on, guys? It's Vince, and it is very early on the morning of July 23rd. Varlamore The Final Dawn is out now. It's going to come out in like 10-20 minutes for me. It is 5:20 in the morning, but I saw the official blog post released, and I figured I'd make a quick video and jump on things real quick. So, jumping right into things, The Final Dawn is upon us, and it brings with it the final part of the Varlamorean mainland. Before you get stuck in, take a tour with this video from community creator Skritic. We have a nice little video that you can check out. I'll link it in the description, and you can come back to this one, or if you'd like to watch it after, that's in the description for you. The Final Dawn. This Master Tier quest marks the epic conclusion to the Varlamore storyline. In the last year or so, you've uncovered ancient secrets, clashed with shady cults, and stared down the darkness at the heart of the Shining Kingdom. Now, it's time to see it through. This will reveal the truth behind the old ones, the fate of Varlamore, and even a few things you weren't supposed to find. It requires 66 thieving, 52 fletching, 52 runecrafting, and completion of the Heart of Darkness and Perilous Moons quests. Also recommends that you have a level 85 combat. After completing the quest, you'll unlock the new Delve boss, the new Nagua to fight, and an untradeable melee weapon that's as red hot as the quest you got it from. Stat-wise, it's comparable to a Dragon Scimitar and requires 60 attack to wield, but the special attack is where it pops off. It's going to require 30% special attack cost, and it's going to give you a 50% accuracy boost and a damage boost on hit. And then this is the fun bit. It has a burn effect that deals 10 damage over 24 seconds, and yes, it stacks. If you lose it, you can reclaim it for 75,000 gold, which is what any PKers who kills you with it will take home too. Final Dawn also brings the third expansion for Varlamore, including the Auburnvale Fletching activity, the Custodia Pass Slayer dungeon, the Gemstone Crab, and the Delve boss, the Doom of Tecpatl. Looks like we're going to jump right into the Delve boss first, but lots of fun stuff. Obviously, we have to get the quest itself done first to unlock, this new weapon and the Delve boss, and maybe even some of the other activities, but lots of fun stuff. This is probably the biggest update of the year. The Delve boss. You've braved the Colosseum, you've quelled the Huey Codal, but deep beneath the roots of the Talati rainforest, something older and far more unholy stirs, and it's hungry. The old ones called it Osto Ayak, the Under Creature. Today, it's referred to only as the Doom of Tecpatl. This is not your average boss fight. This is... Sorry, am I, weird? Okay, we're good. This is not your average boss fight. This is the Delve system, old school's first ever enraged style solo endgame PvM challenge. 8 escalating floors, 1 absolutely unhinged, sinister bug god, no checkpoints, no mercy, no easy way out. Yeah, I'm very excited to take this on later today. Delving deeper, the Doom of Tecpatl lurks deep within the ruins of Tecpatl, unlocked after completing the Final Dawn. Unlike traditional bosses, Osto Ayak doesn't die when you beat it. Instead, it digs deeper, dragging you into a new floor each time. You can chase it down through 8 escalating difficulty tiers, but the floors keep going as long as you do. At the end of each floor, you'll face a choice. Leave with the loot you've earned, or chase Osto Ayak into the next Delve level, where the rewards are greater, and so are the risks. Yes, I mean, basically, you fight it 8 times with increasing difficulty, and similar to the Colosseum, it'll show you the loot at the end of each fight, and you can decide if you want to continue to the next fight at the next level. This is PvM for the bold, the sweaty, the one more floor won't kill me types, unless you like the look of your rewards, of course. This isn't just about survival, it's about risk, reward, and how quickly you reckon you can chug those Cerato and brews. Yeah, I mean, this is the first kind of type of boss where we're seeing this Delve mechanic, other than, I guess you could argue, the Colosseum with the rewards from the Colosseum. But this is more of like a standard boss fight versus the Colosseum being, going for your quiver. So very excited. I've wanted something like this in the game for a while. Who's this for? The early floors are about the level of Corrupted Gauntlet with a bit of a bite. If you want to reach the very bottom, you'll need a good understanding of game mechanics, an Infernal Cape on your back, and the ability to stay cool when things get really, really tough. We're not completely evil though. You'll get a 75% reduced death cost on any floor where your personal best is under 20 attempts, floor by floor. That gives you room to learn without losing your bank every wipe. So that's nice. We'll at least have the 75% reduced cost up front while we're learning. But it looks like the kind of later levels of this are going to be really tough. It says like an Infernal Cape on your back. It references Corrupted Gauntlet. So it doesn't look like this is going to be like the easiest content in the game, which I'm honestly all for. I think we need some hard boss, like some more hard bosses in the game just for the fun of it. I like the mix that they're doing with like the Gemstone Crab where it's easy and hard bosses, but I'm definitely glad this is going to be a tougher one. The high scores will track your deepest completions, and any run past wave 8 or beyond will count towards the rankings. Okay, so for the high scores, it looks like it's only going to track some of the. It says will track your deepest completions. So I don't know if that means like deepest floor you've gotten, similar to like the glory system, and then on like the KC, it'll be like any like wave 8 or beyond will count towards the high scores, or like how that's gonna work. But that's what I'm getting from this, is that it's gonna have like where like the glory is, it'll say that, you know, you've gotten to wave 8 or like I guess floor 8, and then any floor 8s or beyond that kills will count for your high scores. So that's pretty cool. I kind of mess with that. That's pretty fun. Let's look at the rewards. Each level you conquer increases your odds of scoring rare, powerful drops. Early floors offer a glimpse, but the real rewards are buried in the depths. Whether you're here for the thrill, the glory, or the loot, there's only one thing you need to ask yourself. How deep are you willing to go? Let's see what you might drag back from the dark. So we've looked at these before, but we'll go over them again, just in a little bit more detail. I'm thinking a lot of these are going to be kind of like wave 6 to 8 beyond, that you're going to be able to get like the really good stuff. Like you might be able to get it from like earlier waves, but I have a feeling this stuff is going to be very rare unless you're on wave 8. So the first one, we have the Eye of Aak. We have a nice little animation of how it's casted. I've always been one to say that this wand should be a little bit smaller than what it is, just because it almost looks more like almost like a weird sort of mace instead of like a wand. So I think they should still size it down a little bit, but I do like the overall like appearance of it itself. This cursed one-handed magic weapon is infused with the raw fury of Osto Aak. This thing slaps and fast. So it's a 3-tick wand, and it sits between a shadow and a sang staff. So definitely a very, very powerful wand. It's going to be one of the more powerful magic weapons in this game, from what it looks like. It's great for high pressure spellcasting and clever spell weaving. So since it's a 3-tick weapon, it's definitely going to require a little bit more skill to use, because you're attacking every 3 ticks and not every 4 or 5. And it says it cannot be used in PvP, so that's interesting there. But there's the stats for it, and charging it and management. It can be charged with runes or demon tears, but not both. When you uncharge it, you get back exactly what you put in, which is lovely. And it will charge a small amount passively if charged with demon tears while defeating Osto Aak, which is pretty cool. So if you're fighting the Delve boss itself, it looks like this is going to be pretty good, and it's gonna charge itself passively, which is pretty cool. The special attack is called Soul Rend. It's a really cool animation for that, if I'm being honest. That's really nice. Reduces a target's magic defense by the damage dealt. Has doubled accuracy and a 30% higher max hit. It won't reduce defense below 0. It uses 50% special attack, and it is perfect for sustained encounters with magically tanky foes. So again, pretty cool. It's going to reduce the target's magic defense. And if it's saying that you're passively gaining charges with this, if charged with demon tears while defeating Osto Aak, my guess is that it's going to be useful, and this special attack is going to be useful during the fight once you actually get it if you're an Iron Man. Next, we have the Avernic Treads. These Tribid boots don't just look good, they're also best in slot straight out of the box. Interesting. So if you get these boots straight up, they're just going to be better than what you have. Better than Primordials, Pagations, and Eternals. So using Demon Tears and boots from Cerberus, you can create upgraded variants. Yep. So if you use any of your 3 best in slot boots, you can upgrade the Avernic Treads. You don't have to have all 3, but you can upgrade them using all 3. Each upgrade costs 4,000 Demon Tears, and they do stack. Unlock all 3 and you'll forge the mighty Avernic Treads, and maxed, in parentheses, the most powerful, versatile boots to ever stomp across Gilnor. Yeah, so I mean, these boots are going to be really, really good. You're just going to basically keep them locked on your feet and wear them everywhere because of the fact that it has all 3 styles, which is kind of the main draw to it. But I'm really excited to grind these out on the iron. These are going to be sick. A few laces to tie up. Each upgraded variant is untradeable but can be reverted to the base tradable treads. You just won't get your tiers back. Okay, so that's not bad. If you're main and you want to trade it, you'll lose the tiers, but you can kind of revert it and trade it. You'll need 80 strength, defense, ranged, and magic to wear them, and 80 smithing, which is boostable, to craft them. So not crazy requirements, but definitely not an early game level boots. And sorry, group Ironmans, no hand-me-downs allowed. If you want to slip into these shiny new stompers, you'll need to beat the Doom of Macchiato at least once on any floor. Interesting. Unless your group is casual, unranked, or past the wealth transfer cooldown, there's no shortcut. Any variant using primordial boots still counts as dragon boots for treasure trail purposes. Interesting. Whether you're stabbing, blasting, or ranging your enemies from across the room, the Avernic Treads have you and your little toesies covered. Nice. Yeah, these are going to be really, really fun to have. Not having to worry about boot swaps, and it upgrades your best in slot boots for all 3 styles is going to be amazing. So, and we get some range strength with +3 if you have them upgraded. Next, we have the Confliction Gauntlets. Ever splash a spell so hard you felt it in your soul? Yep, been there. Yeah, totally. Introducing the Confliction Gauntlets, a best in slot magic glove upgrade that hates whiffing as much as you do. These gloves are forged from Fury using 3 ingredients, 1 Tormented Bracelet, a rare untradeable Macchiato Cloth dropped by the Doom, and 10,000 Demon Tears. So pretty steep price there for the Demon Tears. Crafting them takes 83 crafting and 70 smithing, both boostable, and must be done at a bank, similar to the Rancor Amulet. No stalling here, please. Okay, so pretty cool. Once created, the Confliction Gauntlets are fully tradable and come packing an extra 2% magic damage. So that's pretty big. You're getting an extra 2% magic damage and accuracy. Okay. They also have a deadly passive effect. And I just want to add, even without this passive effect, if you're using like a shadow, you're still going to benefit majorly from having these with the 2% magic damage and accuracy. So the second chance magic effect, it reminds me of a Fang, but it's a little bit more toned down. So if you miss once, your next attack rolls twice. And it says miss once, roll twice. That's the magic here. When wearing the Confliction Gauntlets, if your standard spell or any spell book or charge staff fails to hit, your next cast of the same spell of the same target will roll accuracy twice. So that's an important bit there. You do have to attack the same target to get that double accuracy roll there. But it's similar to the Fang. Basically, you get the Fang's effect where you roll the accuracy twice once you miss. Perfect for PvM, ideal in PvP, and the antidote to every monster that heard about magic defense and decided to make it their whole personality. Yeah, so this coupled with this wand is going to be just amazing. Like if you miss, you could maybe, I would imagine, since you're going to roll accuracy twice, if you miss with the wand, you could then use your special attack to not guarantee it, but to really give yourself a pretty good chance of landing one of those special attacks as well. A few things to note. It works only with one-handed or no weapons. Sorry, Shadow. Nah, whatever. Shadow's broken anyway. There's no cooldown and no charges, so it just will continue to work over and over again. And especially with something like this where it's a 3-tick, it's going to be really, really good with the Eye of Aak. Sorry, only applies the same spell and the same target. So no funny business. Yeah, so you can't like use something. Yeah, you can't like spam it on something and then attack maybe the bigger target. I don't know how you would cheese that, but they definitely don't want like any sort of cheating or funny business going on with that. Works in both PvM and PvP, so that'll be really interesting to see how PKers kind of implement that as well. Splash a freeze when trying to escape in the wilderness. Try again, this time with feeling. Oh geez, that's gonna really help PKers with Ice Barrage. I don't know how I feel about that. This isn't a band-aid for bad RNG, it's a subtle but powerful passive that keeps your DPS up, reduces the pain of missing those clutch hits, and helps maintain pressure in high-stakes situations. Whether you're freezing PKers or melting magic defensive monsters, the Confliction Gauntlets let even the most chronic splasher cast with confidence. Yeah, these are going to be insane for magic moving forward. Like, even in future updates. However, with this wand being 3 tick, like if you miss, it's gonna continue to proc over and over. So I don't know if they'll ever come out with like a 2 tick magic weapon, but so far with this sitting between like a Sang staff and a shadow, but it being 3 tick, this is gonna be really, really deadly if you pair it with this wand once you have both. And lastly, for the Doom of Macchiato, we have Demon Tears. While you'll gain most of your demon tears from bullying the boss itself, the infested tree roots near the entrance of Macchiato are another source for those of you with 80 woodcutting or more. The rate is slower, but the vibes are much more chill. This is pretty cool as well, just continuing to add AFK options for people that either work or want something to do while they maybe watch a movie or play another game on the side. If you'll note, back with the wand, it can be charged with runes or demon tears, not both. So if you want to save on runes and you're AFKing, maybe you're making dinner, maybe you're playing another game or working on even another account, you can woodcut these demon tears from outside of the area. So you do need 80 woodcutting and the rate's slower, but you're gonna avoid having to use runes. So I have a feeling this is going to be pretty fun. It's going to be interesting to see where the demon tears fall in terms of GE value, but definitely keep that in mind. You can woodcut those demon tears. Next, we have the Auburnvale Fletching activity. North of the Talati Rainforest, nestled in the mountains, is the quiet village of Auburnvale. Sounds pretty cool. In this peaceful corner of the world, the Ents roam free, the logs are fancy, and your XP gains come with a side of serenity. It's a local tradition to leave veil totems inspired by the local wildlife for your peaceful Ent neighbors and decorate them with all those leftover shields and bows you have in your bank. Totems come in 6 wood types, and your chosen decorations will need to match. Got an oak totem, stick to oak bows, oak shields, and oak stalks. Here's what you can work with. Oak, willow, maple, yew, magic, and redwood with the respective fletching levels. Once you've built your totem, the local Ent population will inspect it on their way through the woods, impress them, and they'll reward you with some delightful skilling goodies. So this is a really cool little idea that they had for like a fletching minigame. So obviously it looks like it's going to be in a rainforest nestled in the mountains, but what's cool is we have all these extra bows and all these extra kind of items from Fletching, and they're saying, hey, we're gonna make this into these totem poles for the for the Ents? Yeah, for the Ents. And that's just super creative and cool to me. Like you're essentially Fletching totems, but you're gonna use all these extra bows and shields and Fletching items that you've already made to make these totem poles. That's not a knife, this is a knife. So this thing's pretty cool. Say hello to the Fletching knife, a slick new untradeable tool you'll earn from this activity. It's just like your old knife, but with some clever upgrades. What makes it special? It shaves off 1 game tick from certain Fletching actions after the first item in a batch. This keeps tick manipulation in check and Reddit comments civil. Applies to bows, shield stocks, arrow shafts, dart shafts, javelin shafts, battle staffs, hunter spears, veil totems, and bruma roots. So really, really good knife here. It's gonna shave off that 1 game tick and make Fletching and XP rates for Fletching way, way better. So if you're not 99 Fletching or you're going to continue to Fletch past 99, definitely go get yourself this knife before doing so. It's gonna speed up your gains by a lot. On top of all that, it still works as a regular knife. Slashes webs, cuts fruit, go full Gordon Ramsay on that leaping salmon. Nice little name drop. Equipped in your offhand. Okay, so you can equip it in your offhand too. Wow. Left click is used so you don't accidentally equip it mid-fletch. You can still right click wield if you want. It's a perfect sidekick for long Fletching activities, a minor time saver with some major long-term gains. Yeah, so that's gonna be really cool to have. But it The main thing is that it shaves off that one game tick and just makes it that much faster. Next, we have the bowstring spool. Tired of trudging back and forth to the bank with a backpack full of bowstrings? The bowstring spool is here to help. This handy little gizmo stores between 250 and 100,000 bowstrings in one slot. The spool starts with a base capacity of 250 bowstrings, which can be increased by adding more spools. At 6 spools, you'll have the maximum capacity of 100,000 bowstrings. Weird flex, but okay, nice. So you can just, I guess you can get this bowstring spool as a reward, and you'll need 6 of them to go all the way up to 100,000 strings stored if you want to string a bunch of bowstrings. So this is going to be interesting too, because now you're not going to have to withdraw 14 bowstrings and 14 unstrung bows. You can just put in the 27 unstrung bows and then put in your bowstring spool. Automatically fills itself as you spin flax as well. Okay, just keep it in your inventory and let it do its thing. That's pretty cool. Or you can manually fill it with bowstrings, even noted ones. That's very cool, by right-clicking near bank. Withdrawing strings is flexible. Take out any amount, unnoted or noted, as long as you're near a bank. Acts just like your inventory when stringing bows. Use it on unstrung bows or vice versa to access the regular interface, and it is untradeable but can be found in reward offerings during the minigame. Very cool, very cool. It reminds me of the one herblore like secondaries bag where you can store a bunch of secondaries and just use it to fill potions and make 27 in one inventory instead of 14. So that's gonna be really cool for fletching bows. So you basically can do 2 inventories instead of 1. And then it has the death mechanics there as well. Player owned house decorations. So I don't know if they talked about getting this or not, but we're gonna be getting some player owned house decorations as well. Bring a little woodland charm into your home with 2 new decorative pieces, inspired by the spirit of Auburnvale. Crafted using Ent branches and the mystical Greenman mask, these tradable pieces are perfect whether you're decking out your garden or adding some leafy flair to your throne. Greenman statue, a serene garden statue of the woodland spirit, perfect for any garden looking a little too civilized. Buildable in both large plant and centerpiece spots in the garden and the formal garden rooms. A pretty cool sort of statue. It looks like maybe one of the bigger rainforest trees that they fletched into a Greenman statue that you can use as a centerpiece or a smaller plant in the corner. And then Greenman carvings. This wall-mounted carving will add a dash of wild mystique to your player-owned house interior. Buildable in wall decoration spots in the combat room, dining room, and throne room. Both rewards require a construction level of 1 and will grant no XP when built. It's all about style with these ones. So a couple of extra things that we can use to decorate the house, which is always pretty fun. Research points and dry protection. Each time you rummage through Ent offerings, the loot pile they leave behind, you'll earn a research point. These can be traded in for new rewards, including the fletching knife, the masks, the spool, and Ent branches. If luck isn't on your side, research points offer a guaranteed path to progression. Unwanted untradables or any item if you're an Iron Man can also be converted into research points, making every offer count. Next we have Atlatl darts. Fresh way to craft Atlatl darts has arrived. Perfect for high-level fletchers looking to take a more hands-on approach. While these darts have previously been obtainable through content like Perilous Moons, this update introduces the materials required for a fully craftable method, offering greater flexibility in how you stock up. So it looks like at level 74 fletching, you can craft the Atlatl darts. This new 4-step process fits neatly into the existing arrow-making flow, but with a distinctly Varlamorean twist. So let's take a look at how they're made. So at first you have to make the shafts. You're going to use a knife on Ent branches from the fletching activity. So you can use the new fletching knife. You yield 100 shafts per batch and get 30 XP per batch. You then make the dart tips by using a chisel on broken antlers dropped by custodians, and you get 100 tips per antler. From there, you can add the feathers to the shaft, which grants 1 XP per dart and requires 74 fletching. And then attach the tips to the headless darts, granting 9.5 XP per dart, and also requires 74 fletching. So Pretty nice. Looks like basically you just take the end branches and make them into the atlatl dart shafts, and then use the broken antlers for the tips, and then kind of fletch it as normal. Both the end branches and broken antlers are tradable, so whether you gather them yourself or grab them off the market, you've got options. So pretty cool. We're going to be able to finally make the atlatl darts. Next, we have the Greenman Mask, a whimsical woodland-inspired cosmetic headpiece you can customize by offering 300 leaves of any one type. So again, this is just purely cosmetic, but you can make the Greenman masks if you want to. They are tradable, and unlock them once and swap freely via the change style interface. Okay, that's cool. You can just switch between them as well. Next, we have the Redwood Hiking Staff. All right. We've also included a new addition to your Fashionscape kit, the Redwood Hiking Staff. Made with just one redwood log and 90 fletching, this decorative staff gives you a fancy new Fashionscape option and a practical totem decoration. It's tradable and equipable as a weak crush weapon, and can be used as decoration on redwood totems. Much easier than making a shield, which needs 92 fletching and 2 logs. You would only need 90 fletching and 1 log. So, looks like we'll be able to use that in the minigame on the totems as well. So XP rates, number time, these are rough estimates and your results may vary depending on your route, inventory management, and whether or not you've brought your shiny new knife, but you have the XP rates for all the different logs as well. Kind of coming to the back half of this post, it's a pretty big blog post. We have the Custodia Pass Slayer Dungeon. Nestled along the treacherous Custodia Pass, where the rugged terrain of Varlamore meets the fringes of Corrend, lies the Custodia Pass Slayer Dungeon, a brutal new combat hotspot designed for hardened Slayer fans and bold adventurers alike. To access the dungeon, you'll need the following: 54 Slayer, 45 Fishing, 41 Construction, 36 Hunter, and completion of Children of the Sun. So brand new Slayer Dungeon as well in this update, which is always kind of exciting. This dungeon introduces an entirely new threat to the mainland in the form of the Custodian Stalkers. You'll encounter 3 varieties of these antlered horrors: juvenile at 54, mature at 67, and elder at 76. These foes sport low to mid defense, large health pools, and an elemental weakness, ideal for mages looking to melt their way through tasks. We've seen some players question the Slayer level requirement here, and we get it. 54 might feel a little modest, however these creatures are meant to support mid-level progression, offering a rewarding option before the high-tier nasties kick in. It's a deliberate gap filler and one we think still holds plenty of value for the level. On that note, let's introduce the Antler Guard. So, pretty cool. You do kind of work your way, and it does fill the gap there with the juvenile, mature, and elder. What are these called? Custodian Stalkers. There we go. So yeah, there's different tiers of them, and it's a nice progression system. So on that note, let's introduce the Antler Guard. These stalkers aren't just here to creep you out, they also drop the Antler Guard, a distinct new offhand weapon that prioritizes offensive and prayer bonuses over defense. Think of it as a stepping stone to the Dragon Defender. It's less tanky, but still no slouch when paired with your overhead prayers. Here's a reminder of what it offers. So you do get a 5 prayer bonus, which is pretty nice. That plus 5 prayer bonus makes it a real treat for anyone rocking that proselyte setup. The Antler Guard is tradable, so even if RNG isn't your friend, the Grand Exchange might be, unless you're in Iron. So pretty good. You get the extra prayer bonus on there with the Antler Guard if you're doing sort of some AFK task and you want to pair it with the proselyte. While tackling these stalkers, you may occasionally come across a curious new item, the Alchemist's Signet. These rare drops aren't immediately useful, but those with an eye for experimentation may find a way to redeem them somewhere else in Varlamore. So they leave a little cliffhanger there with the Alchemist's Signet as well, which if it's saying Alchemists, I'm assuming it's either going to do something with High Alchemy or maybe something with Herblore. I guess we'll find out. Next, I'm actually kind of weirdly excited for this. I just love the design of it and kind of the idea of the whole thing. But we have the Gemstone Crab AFK fight. Deep within the glittering greenery of the Tecpatl rainforest scuttles a creature so fabulous even a dragonstone would feel underdressed. Meet the Gemstone Crab, old school's sparkliest new boss. Again, I love the design of this and this whole like area even. It looks so cool. It rarely deals damage and then only deals 1 damage at a time. Wow, so it really requires like no effort. So if your idea of PvM is relaxed combat XP with virtually no risk of getting KO'd by a crab, congratulations, you found your new best mate. What is it? The Gemstone Crab is the massive gem-encrusted cousin of the humble sand and rock crabs, except this one skipped a leg day. Okay. It technically does fight back, but it mostly hits zeros, so the only real threat is forgetting your pickaxe. Despite its extremely polite aggression, the crab doesn't have traditional combat stats. It instead has a timer bar above its head, a visual representation of how long it'll stick around before it gets sick of you whacking it. It's great. It's group content for players who want something fun, social, and sparkly, or for anyone whose combat strategy mainly involves clicking once and scrolling social media for a bit. So, instead of sand crabs or rock crabs, you can now kill the gemstone crab, and it has a bar above its head right here and up here where you can't see, indicating when it will move spots between 3 locations. Additionally, it has this cave here that you can use to follow it to the next location, so it'll be very easy to AFK and get some combat XP, or to just chill out and vibe with some friends here. So how it works: the crab spawns randomly across 3 potential multi-combat locations in the Talati Rainforest, which means you'll be doing a bit of cardio to track it down. Once enough people have lovingly bonked it into submission for long enough, the crab reconsiders its life choices and burrows away, leaving behind a giant mineable gem rock, nature's pinata. You hit the rock and you get shiny things. Only the top 16 players who deal the most damage get to mine the gem rock it leaves behind, and each player can mine a small number of gems. Want to keep the bash and main train rolling, use the small cave nearby to crawl through the undergrowth and follow the crab to its next hiding spot. So, also bring a gem bag if you're going to go here, just as a PSA. Definitely bring your gem bag along with your pickaxe, but nice new little AFK boss. The rock and sand crabs will never be the same again. So, but fun little addition that they added nonetheless. So next we have the new Nagua and the Earthbound Tecpatl. Once you've wrapped up the Final Dawn quest, you'll get access to the ruins of Machiatl. These ancient stones aren't just home to the Delve boss, but also to a new Nagua variant. They drop the Earthbound Tecpatl, a two-handed twin stab weapon that completes Sulfur Blades and Glacial Tecpatl trio. Each attack hits twice, splitting damage over 2 hit slots, and it requires 55 attack to wield. Here's a closer look at what it has to offer. So the special effect, it hits twice, splitting damage across 2 hit slots. So decent stab and slash attack, or excuse me, decent stab attack there, and melee strength, but it is a level 55 weapon, so it's going to be kind of lower tier, but it's going to kind of carve out and complete the Sulfur Blades and Glacial Tecpatl trio. And so much more. From hidden lore, vibrant scenery, and charming details, The Final Dawn is more than just its headline features. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Varlamore, whether you were here from the very beginning or are just now setting foot in the Shining Kingdom. We hope this final chapter offers a worthy challenge and a rewarding close to a year of unforgettable content. Now steel your mind, sharpen your weapons, and prepare for what lies ahead. The Final Dawn is here. So, a couple other changes we're going to go over, but lots and lots of fun stuff headlining this update. It's probably the biggest update of the year so far. Right in front of Yama, but I'm really excited to try all this stuff out. There's a lot of fun stuff in this update. So let me go back down to the other changes. Custodia's Slayer assignments now boost the Mossy Key drop rate only within the wilderness, so you can't use that to boost for your Mossy Keys at Bryophyta anymore. Zaf's discount staff barrel can now trigger its daily reset without you having to log out and in again, so that's pretty cool. Armadillion guards encountered on treasure trails are no longer vulnerable to melee attacks except halberds, except via halberds like other AVNC. So before you could attack them with like any weapon. On Deadman Worlds, the volcanic mine is closed, but Petrified Pete was cheekily taking players' Nummulites as an entrance fee before telling them. The Fossil Trade Constabulary has intervened to stop this, and Pete will now return his victims' Nummulites next time they try to enter the mine on a Deadman World. And items like the Slayer Gem now give more appropriate messaging when you reach the cap for consecutive tasks. Next, champagne problems. We've had an absolutely massive surge in players lately and couldn't be more excited. Whether you've been grinding since 2007 or just started Cook's Assistant, welcome to Gillinor. Yeah, we've had a ton of new players. The numbers have been fantastic. It's very nice to see. Of course, with more players comes more traffic. Some of you may have noticed full worlds and slower performance during peak times. To help ease the pressure and keep things running nicely, we've expanded our live infrastructure to better support the growing population. It looks like they've added 4 more US East worlds, 4 more US West worlds, and 2 more UK worlds. So very nice. And if you are new to the game, welcome. These should help spread things out more evenly across regions. These are the kind of problems we love to have, and we're incredibly proud to see the community growing so rapidly. We'll keep doing our part to ensure the game remains fun, stable, and welcoming for everyone, whether you're chasing your next drop or taking your very first steps. Thanks for being part of it all, and as always, happy escaping. So that's basically going to conclude the blog post. Very, very exciting. We have Varlamore The Final Dawn. I have a little bit new merch here as well. These frogs are adorable. I mean, it's all pretty good. The capybara is cool, the little bird, the Quiver Max cape, and of course, Soul. So Angelscapes always does really, really well here. So if you like her stuff, definitely go over there and grab some merch if that's your thing. There's a Mod Ash Reddit AMA or Ask Me Anything. So if you have questions for Mod Ash, go drop them on the Reddit thread. It looks like we're also getting some sort of Runefest medley that they did. What's his face? Cole Roland and Mod Ash did like a thing at Runefest where they did a little duo music, and I guess that music track is dropping as well, which is pretty cool. There's also going to be a Varlamore Q&A live stream and in-game march, which is pretty cool. So they're going through the whole map. That's where the map is from what it looks like. So pretty cool. They're doing a little march and a Q&A live stream. So on Thursday, July 24th from 4 to 5 p.m. BST. Join them for a special Varlamore Q&A live stream and in-game celebration live on Twitch featuring JMods. So tomorrow they'll be doing that. And then they are also doing, I guess, a postcard from Varlamore competition. So if that's your thing, you can participate in that. At the PvP World rotation, and they signed at the mods. So big update. The main thing is the Delve boss, but we're also getting things like the Fletchingville, or the Auburnvale Fletching activity and the Gemstone Crab. So if you enjoyed the video and you're excited for Varlamore The Final Dawn, leave me some comments in the description telling me what you think. This is going to be a big headlining update for the year, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But until next time, I will see you guys later.